You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years. Maybe more, you will get some injections.
Who can better lead this humanity than young global leaders?
We select you, we connect you in our gatherings, because we want to transform you.
What we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on. We penetrate the cabinets.
Together, we can then contribute in bringing the fresh view of the younger generation in the shaping of the future, which is for us translated in the so-called Agenda 2030.
You know, I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets. How quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset. I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stock.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets.
The opportunity for tokenization is probably the most important component of how we are going to see the evolution of the financial plumbing of the world.
And we're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Another pandemic will come. We focused on preparation.
6% of global emissions are cows who burp and fart methane to an extreme degree. You can either fix the cows to stop them doing that, or you can make beef without the cow.
Can Microsoft founder Bill Gates control the weather? Well, according to a patent application recently released to the public, Gates and several other co-inventors seem to think that they can, at least when it comes to hurricanes.
Which then has this effect of reducing population growth. That's this big benefit.
You all will have implants. It doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you if you take a genetic editing.
We're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy.
Your avatar will continue to live. Your brain will be replicated through artificial intelligence and algorithm.
One type of ID, and certainly that it was digital, is also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not.
It is basically biological chip that it is in the tablet. Once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, it sends a signal that you took the tablet.
Power is shifting from humans to AIs.
In the future, there will be, for every human identity, there will be about 80 machine-based identity.
You do not even have to have elections anymore, because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
The first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. So when we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country.
Larry Page and I used to be close friends. He really seemed to be one sort of a digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. AI can even write a new Bible. All the other books of the other religions, humans wrote them. But our book, no. It came from some superhuman intelligence. Churches all over the world are telling people, stay away from the churches, because the scientists said so. COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. This is the end of human history. Not the end of history, the end of human-dominated history. History will continue with somebody else in control.
I could argue in the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations.
You do not even have to have elections anymore, because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
Our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior.
What we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on. that we penetrate the cabinets.
You want the function, you want the service, right? Why do you want to own a cell phone if you can just lease it? And if you lease, why shouldn't you lease your refrigerator or your washing machine or your dishwasher, or why do you want to own it?
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media.
But if 1 billion people stop eating meat, I tell you it has a big impact.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains? And we measure your brain waves.
There's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. People believing that they've been at Disney World with characters who are not Disney characters, taking photographs with those characters.
And substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
Power is shifting from humans to AIs.
In the future, there will be, for every human identity, there will be about 80 machine-based identity.
You do not even have to have elections anymore because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
The first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. So when we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country.
Larry Page and I used to be close friends. He really seemed to be one sort of digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. The extra resources required to have a global surveillance team.
And I know that we're going to have like cameras on, all over the place, and maybe it's worth it for society collectively.
Dans ce nouveau monde, on doit accepter une transparence, et je dirais même une transparence totale. Tout va être transparent.
I guess very soon people will walk around with biometric sensors on or even inside their bodies.
The good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more.
The future is shaped by us, and particularly shaped by us here in this room.
By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself.
When there's somebody who's new in their role, a new prime minister, I will spend time. Generally, what I try to do is spend time before they win. You have access to whatever information you need.
Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. We would lose our capacity for self-governance on this world.
The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less. If people aren't following, we're not going to get to where we want to go.